What are you doing?
Packing up Mark's things.
Are you going to Vicky's?
No, Jake, I'm not. I called the community center, and Judy's sending over a volunteer to pick these up while I'm at work. Some kids down at the community center who would really appreciate this stuff.
Right. So, where do we stand? And you're gonna be able to forgive me?
What is a 9-letter word for misunderstanding with an O in the middle?
Imbroglio.
Imbroglio? How do you spell that?
That's cheating.
No, it's not cheating not to ask your husband.
Oh, yeah? What do you call it?
Research.
Research. Oh, I love research. Yes, yes.
Well, if this day continues the way this one has started, you're going to have one satisfied woman on your hands.
Ah, well, you see, you've been under so much pressure.
Same thing with you. I can handle anything. What?
Ah, special day, remember. A day full of memories. It will last us a lifetime.
Why do you keep talking like this? You've been talking like this for days, very mournfully, as though we're never going to see each other again.
Just love me.
Grant. Why don't you go into the office today? I'm sure your constituents are wondering what happened to their senator.
Let them. You shouldn't be alone.
You worry about me too much, you know. Look, I'm sure I'm going to have plenty of visitors today.
You expecting someone special?
The usual suspects. My mom, Paulina, Matt.
Just family, huh?
Just family. Why?
Guess I was wondering about some of your, colleagues. Surely you've been missed.
Well, maybe one or two of them will stop by after work. Are you okay?
Sure, why do you ask?
Well, it just seems that, since our wedding, I've got the feeling that something's been bothering you.
Well, I've got a lot to deal with, Amanda.
Does it have anything to do with me? I mean, did the doctors tell you something that I should know?
No. Actually, it wasn't a doctor at all. It was a lawyer.
Cass?
No. Evan Frame's attorney, Trent Forbes. And to tell you the truth, he had a good deal to say, Amanda.
Why would Evan's attorney call you?
Oh, Mr. Forbes didn't call me. Mr. Forbes took the time to come and see me.
Oh, no. What? The accident? Was it Evan's insurance?
No. No, it wasn't on Evan's behalf. Actually, it was quite the opposite.
What, Evan and Trent had a falling
Frame fired him.
out? Oh. So, Trent was looking for another job?
Not from me. No, Forbes said he felt I had a right to know Evan's real feelings for you.
I'm sure that I don't have to lecture you on the level of sensitivity that we need to exhibit to patients who have suffered severe trauma. Amanda Harrison has been the victim of an automobile accident where she suffered trauma to L2, 3, and 4, resulting in paraplegia.
And what's the current prognosis?
It's guarded, and needless to say, we will save our discussion of her prognosis until after we've left the room. Understood? Yeah. Good. Now, doctor, if you'll just give me the chart here, let's go over this.
Grant, I'm sorry. I really am.
What on earth could you possibly feel sorry about, Amanda?
Well, for one, you shouldn't have to deal with the problems that Trent is having with Evan. And what good could it possibly do to bring this all up again?
That's what I told him. After all, it's not as though Forbes had any inside information. Right, Amanda?
As good as our staff is, support from a patient's family is essential, in fact, critical to their recovery. Unfortunately for Mrs. Harrison, she has that in spades. Not only a loving family, but a brand new husband who seems to be very devoted.
Grant, I know how you feel about Evan, and I don't blame you a bit. But all of that, it's over, I swear. If it'll help, I'll call Trent myself. I'll tell him to back off.
Well, I don't think we'll be hearing from Trent Forbes anytime soon, Amanda. I think he said everything he had to say.
Well, you shouldn't have to deal with him or Evan. It's not fair.
And by the same token, I don't want you getting upset over this either. You need to save your strength for recovery.
Amanda?
John?
Grant?
John, Amanda's really not feeling up to this right now. Please close the door on your way out.
Ah, you bring out the poet in me. Do you know what? Because of what I see in your face and in your eyes. Because I love you. And I want you all to myself every moment of the day.
Oh, I see. That's why you've been so guilt-ridden.
I beg your pardon?
You think you're taking me away from Amanda?
Ah, well. Mustn't be selfish. And I know how much she needs you.
She needs Grant, too. They have a lot of planning to do.
So you're all right about not going to the hospital
Oh, what do you
today?
think? Shut up and kiss me.
Rachel, thank you. Thank you for accepting me.
Oh, darling, it's so easy because I love you so much.
Hi. Can I come in? It's really, really important.
Oh, yes, Squirt. Well, you're already in, aren't you? What is it?
I made something in your studio, and I want you and Grandpa to come and see it.
Grandpa and me?
Granny and I would be delighted. But first, Alexander, I have to teach Granny a lesson in gamesmanship.
You guys play games up here?
Oh, yes. We have a lot of fun up here. That's why we got married.
Cool. But hurry up, okay?
Alexander, do you know a 7-letter word for handcuff?
Shackle?
Good girl!
Utter shameless.
Completely shameless. Oh, yes. Oh, I do love you. And I thank you for this life here, this house. I treasure it, and I treasure you. Look, Pauline, I really screwed up. I mean, I spent most of the night last night thinking about what my life would be like without you.
Jake.
No, I'm not feeling sorry for myself, all right? I just would hate to see us throw away everything that we have worked so hard for because of some stupid bonehead scam I tried to pull.
You and Vicky used me, Jake. And then you lied about it. Worse, you watched. You sat here and watched while I fell in love with the best baby on this earth. And then you just ripped him away from me. Now, you want to know what I'm thinking? You want to know what I'm feeling? That's where we're going to have to start.
Does that mean that we still have a chance?
For crying out loud.
Hi.
Alicia!
I know it's awfully early, but I'm a little desperate right now. Tell me this isn't a bad time. I need some help, Paulina.
Of course I'll help you, Felicia. You have to ask.
You're practically on your honeymoon, and I really... Hello, Jake.
Hi, Felicia. Look, if you guys want to talk, Go upstairs and take a shower. Nice seeing you.
Is he all right?
He's Prince.
I don't think I should have come over without calling.
No,
Honey, we'll
no,
talk about
no.
this later, all right?
Believe me. Now is a good time.
Really?
Yes, really. So, what can I do you for? What are you upset about? Is it the kidnapping show, the one about you and Walter?
Yeah.
You take off your coat.
I know this whole thing was my idea, and I just thought if I talked about it, it would help. I could sort of put this nightmare away. And I don't know, the closer this show gets,
The more you hate it?
I think what I'm feeling is I'm scared.
Wow. Lisa, that's completely understandable. Tell you what, why don't I talk to Donna and Matt? I'm sure we can figure out something.
Like what?
Well, I'm gonna need more than a couple of seconds to think of something.
I know. Of course you are.
No, it's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I know you're on edge.
Yeah.
But trust me, between the four of us, I'm sure we can think of something that, well, where you'll be comfortable and we'll also be happy with the show's format.
Do you have any idea why you're such a good producer? Because you care so much.
Oh,
No, Paulina, I really mean that. You're compassionate, you're reliable. Yeah. What, honey? What's the matter? What's wrong?
well, sometimes, Felicia, being compassionate and reliable is the surest way to a broken heart. Gee, thanks, Spencer. You're a real gentleman.
Would take a lady to recognize a real gentleman. What are you doing in this house? Where did you get that key?
I know you're busy, Spencer, but the Inquisition has definitely concluded.
I said, where did you get that key?
Not that it's any of your business, but Grant gave it to me. Satisfied?
So this job as my son's press secretary, you're going to take it?
It's a done deal. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have about 10 minutes to get this press conference together, and then I'm out of here.
Well, good. As long as you remember that you're an employee, you'll get along just fine.
If that's meant as a put-down, Spencer, try again.
It's a warning, Lorna. Other than professionally, I don't want you involved with either of my sons. Neither of them need the kind of trouble that you're bound to bring.
First of all, Ryan is a friend.
Good. So keep it that way.
And as for Grant, well, Grant's just married the woman of his dreams.
Who also happens to be paralyzed.
Yeah, I noticed, Spencer. And believe it or not, I do feel sorry for Amanda.
Who are you kidding, Lorna? You don't have a sympathetic bone in your body. In fact, I'd bet a bundle that you're looking at the situation as a closed door, open window opportunity for yourself.
You want to run that by me again?
Yes. If you've got some fantasy about bedding down Grant now that Amanda's condition prevents her from fighting back, well, I'll tell you something. You picked the wrong family to cross.
I'm sorry, John, but my wife is in no condition to be poked and prodded today.
Amanda, I promise you no needles in the feet today.
John, can we just do this a little bit later? Grant and I were in the middle of something.
I wish I could be a little bit more flexible, but you know this is a teaching hospital. If I don't teach these interns, God only knows what will happen to them. This won't take long, and you're our last stop.
John, this is not going to work this morning.
Grant, don't make this any harder than it needs to be.
Harder? My wife can't walk. What could be harder than that?
I think what Dr. Hudson
I think
means
Dr. Hudson can speak for himself. John, I refuse to stand by and let this legion of interns treat my wife like she's some laboratory experiment.
that isn't how any of us treat our patients,
Patient?
Senator.
Let me tell you something, Dr. Winthrop. Until you're a board-certified physician, you won't touch my wife. Is that clear?
Grant, it's okay. I don't want to be a problem, all right?
You're not a problem, darling. Don't worry. Now, you just rest while I take care of this misunderstanding with John.
Now, if anything needs to be taken care of here, Senator, it's your wife. But if you're too damn pig-headed to recognize
ladies and gentlemen,
maybe you should
rounds
lose your
are over.
visitation
They're
rights,
over.
sir.
See you all after lunch.
Okay, so I was a little over the
Morgan?
top with the senator, right?
A little? The man's wife almost died. She may never walk again. The last thing he needs is to be lectured by you.
Well, I can't lecture him on politics. The guy was a jerk,
No.
John.
No, he wasn't. He's a man in pain. And until you can see the difference, you're a long way from becoming a good doctor.
Fine. Forget the patient's care and coddle the family? Got it.
I don't know what got you started this morning.
Did you hear how
you
he treated
lost
the
your
staff?
professional cool? And I'm not going to let that slide.
You gonna report me, John?
You're done for the day, Morgan. Go home. We'll talk tomorrow. Go home. First of all, Grant, let me apologize for Morgan. He's a good doctor. He just doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut.
John, this is not the kind of environment I want for my wife.
Grant, I'm sure that Morgan didn't mean any harm. I'll be fine.
Yes,
Really?
you will be fine, because I intend to take you out of here. Today.
Well, the way I figure it, Felicia, we have a couple of options.
Thank you.
The first and most obvious one would be to cancel the entire show, but
You know,
if you...
Paulina, we were talking about Jake and you before. Honey, if you're having problems, I think my show is the last thing you should be worried about.
Felicia, I'll deal with Jake later. Right now, you're my first priority.
Maybe I shouldn't be.
What are you talking about?
You just got married. I mean, you need to solve the problems you're having in the beginning, especially if they're serious.
I know. But sometimes you just need to let things sit, and right now that's what I need to do with Jake.
Okay, if you're sure.
Well, thank you. So, where were we? Oh, right. Okay, so, if canceling the show is out and you still want to tell the story about your kidnapping...
I do.
Then maybe we should bag the idea of a monologue and go with a straight interview.
I hope it's not somebody like Beverly Lawrence.
No. No. Maybe a local news reporter. Someone you know, someone you trust. Would that work?
Yeah, I think I could handle that if I knew what the questions were beforehand.
Well, this is just off the top of my head, but I think we'd be looking for something like, how did you keep the faith during your captivity? What was it that kept you going?
I thought about the people that I love the most. In fact, I talked to them in a little tape recorder every day.
And what did you say to them?
Oh, I rambled mostly. I cried sometimes. I even yelled at them sometimes.
Were you mad because they hadn't found you?
No, I don't think it was that. I think I was mad at the whole situation and sort of took it out on them. You know, the thing I did realize through all of this is that I have wasted most of my life worrying about insignificant garbage.
I'm not sure I follow you.
The whole time that I was locked up in Walter's attic, I thought about Luke every day. And you know what I remembered the most? The last time I saw him before he was shot.
You two had a big fight, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, huge. I didn't think I could trust him anymore. So I let him storm out of Tops. You know, if I knew then what I know now, Luke might still be alive. I know that you can't let go of love. You have to just let the rest of it, you just have to let it go. Well, the audience reacts the way you are right now. I think we might have a pretty good show on our hands.
Yeah. Were the questions good?
Yeah, they were wonderful. I was sitting across from you. Why can't I sit across from you?
What? Me interview you?
Yeah,
No,
why can't
No, Felicia,
Come
I don't
on,
think so. No, I'm a
Paulina.
behind-the-scenes
Oh,
person.
don't be silly. Maybe you should go in front of the camera. I think it's a great idea. I want you to think about it. Please, Paulina, come on.
We'll see. How's that?
I want you to remember what I said. All right? Please. All right, thanks for your help. I'm sorry I barged in.
Oh,
all
no,
right?
anytime,
You and
really.
Jake have a whole long life together. Just remember to let go. I'll see you at the studio.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, honey.
Is she right? You willing to stick it out with me? Don't answer that. No, Paulina. If you care about this marriage at all, don't answer the door.
I understand your feelings, Grant, but to take Amanda out of the hospital now would be impossible.
Impossible is not a word that Amanda or I recognize, John.
Good. That will make her recovery a lot easier.
I'm serious, John. I fully intend to check her out of here within the hour.
That would be foolish and against my best medical advice.
Honey, maybe we should listen to
Darling,
him.
just because doctors think themselves to be omnipotent doesn't mean you have to buy into it.
Grant, I'm very sorry that Morgan mouthed off to you, but that is in no way indicative of the kind of treatment that Amanda will be receiving
I won't
here.
take that chance,
Her
John.
recovery will
Her
be-
recovery will be handled by one of the best in the business. I've retained the services of Dr. Stephen Royal.
What?
Darling, I wanted to tell you about this later on this morning. And John, you might as well know about it now.
John, do you know him?
Only by reputation. The point is, Amanda, physical therapy will be critical to your recovery. If you stay here...
I think that she can do better, John. John, you must understand this in no way reflects on your abilities as a professional. Amanda and I will always be indebted to you for saving her
Grant,
life.
I only want to make sure that Amanda has the best possible treatment.
You don't think I can provide that?
It's too early for her to leave the hospital.
Why don't we let the patient decide that? Darling, what would you like to do?
Well, I guess I would like to go home. I mean, if I'm under doctor's care, that's all right, right, John?
I'll write a discharge order. But I'll be noting that this is not an approved discharge. The hospital has to protect itself. So do I.
Well, I guess we won that round, huh, Tiger?
First tell me why this was a fight to begin with. What are you trying to accomplish, Grant?
Yes, no question about it. We have another artist in this household. Oh, this is magnificent.
I should say, wait till your mummy sees this. She's going to be very impressed.
Can we take it over to the hospital this morning?
Well, Amanda has her physical therapy this morning, sweetie, but maybe later.
Okay, then I'll go show it to Maggie.
Oh, darling, don't barge in on Maggie. She got in really late from San Francisco.
Bravo, little one.
How about that?
You've missed all this, haven't you? Working and playing in here.
Yes, I have a bit. I've been thinking of getting back to some painting.
Well, perhaps it's time for you to start again, Rachel. You know, you must never give this up. You're much too good.
Wouldn't mind having another go at you, especially if you'd sit for me this time.
I'm afraid I don't make a very good model. No, I mean, you know, all that sitting around, it's not me, is it?
Well, I didn't do so badly using my imagination. Where are you?
Yeah.
Worried about Amanda, aren't you?
Yes, of course. It's horrific. If I could change places with her, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
I know you would.
Now, what say you give her a call, check up on her?
Do you think? Yeah. I mean, I could tell her about Allie's sculpture that night. Yes.
Rachel?
John.
What's happened? There's
What's the
something.
matter with Amanda? Is she all right?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I couldn't examine her
Why not?
because her husband wouldn't let me.
Did I misread you, Amanda? You don't want to come home with me?
No, that's not it at all.
Then what's the problem? Oh, I was too high-handed with John.
Well, actually, yes, I thought you were.
I'll do my best to make it up to him. The only thing I care about is you. You've got to believe that.
I do,
Good,
but...
good. Then I'll have the private ambulance service notified that we'll be ready within the hour.
Wait, what private ambulance?
Well, you don't think I'm going to let just anyone drive you home, do you? Oh, by the way, Alistair's been talking to the cook about preparing all your favorite foods.
Did you have all this planned before John came in this morning?
Of course not, darling. But since I was hoping for the best, I wanted to make sure Alistair had all the things that you liked on hand.
But the new doctor, you already contacted him.
Of course. Because regardless of how long you stayed here, I wanted to make sure that you had the best people available when you came home. Just think, tonight you will be sleeping in your own bed.
Are you sure this is the right thing to do?
Of course, darling. Get some rest, all right? See you in a little while.
I love you.
I know that I'm the one who usually overreacts, Morgan. But this time, are you sure it's not you?
Oh, no way. You should have seen John, the way he capitulated to Harrison. Like Harrison was the Surgeon General. Like he donated some wing to the hospital called the Harrison Wing. Who's running the hospital, Brett? Politicians or doctors?
Must have been very frustrating, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then, thank you. And then, John gives me this load about how all hospitals are the same. Like this would ever happen at Chicago Memorial.
No, huh?
No.
Are you sure about doing your residency in Chicago?
If that's where you're going to be, that's where I'll be.
Yeah, but
No. Listen to me. No questions about this. I don't have any doubts about this. Listen. I want this. Every day, every year, I want to be with you.
What exactly are you saying, Morgan?
I'm saying exactly what you think I'm saying. That I don't want to ever be apart from you. Not ever. You love me, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, and I love you. And we care about each other more than anything in the world, right?
Right.
So why don't we just do it? Why don't we just say, the heck with it and go with it?
Look, Morgan, if this is another half-baked, half-serious marriage proposal, I swear...
No. This is fully baked. It's a proposal, yes, and it's real. And I know in the past when we talked about marriage, you cut your bangs or I overate, but I'm telling you right now that those days are over and I feel differently. I want to be your husband. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Right?
When did you want to do this?
Whenever you want. Tomorrow. Next week. Next year. As long as we're committed, as long as I know that I can count on you, I'll wait for you forever.
Well, you don't have to wait that long, Morgan. I have an answer for you right now. Yes, I'll marry you. Surprised you, didn't I?
Yes! You mean that? Brad! Oh, my... Listen to me. I love you. I love you.
I love you, too.
Dad, what are you doing here?
Checking up on you, and I'm glad I did. Lorna's here.
Well, of course she is. She works for me again, Dad. I told you that.
And I told you it was a mistake. I wouldn't trust that woman as far as I could throw it.
Well, then she'll be in good company, won't she? Amanda's coming home today.
What do you mean Amanda's coming home? Doesn't she need around-the-clock care?
That's why I'm here, Dad.
Well, have you talked to her about Evan?
When I mentioned his name, she did what she's always done. She lied.
What did she say?
Nothing. No. No, that's not true. I believe her exact words were, "It's over now, Grant." Isn't that sweet? Now that she's paralyzed, she doesn't plan on sleeping around anymore.
Oh, son, please, please. I know only too well how this kind of thing can hurt. But if your wife's come back to
Come
you...
back. Come back. She's only with me because she's not able to run to him, Dad.
Now, look, Grant, it may be hard for you to see right now, but I know that Amanda loves you. And with Evan Frame out of the picture...
Evan Frame is not my problem anymore. My wife is my problem.
And right now, she's a valuable asset to you.
Well, then I'll just have to take very good care of her, won't I? Knowing Amanda, she'll just love a doting husband waiting on her hand and foot.
Who wouldn't? Especially in a place like this.
Hello, Lorna.
So what's the word, Grant? Will your wife be home by Christmas?
Yeah, well, actually, she'll be here for lunch.
Grant, tell me you're kidding.
No, I wouldn't kid about a thing like that. And Dad and I are delighted, aren't we, Dad?
Yes.
Grant, did you forget we have a press conference here this morning?
I did not forget, and you'll be happy to know that I am fully prepared.
Grant?
What is it?
What about Amanda?
What about her?
Grant, you know the way she reacted to the press on her wedding day. No pictures, no interviews, no nothing. If she walks in here, I mean, if she comes in here and finds the media, she's just gonna...
Lorna, she will deal with it. Amanda is much more at ease with her condition now. She knows that my job requires contact with the press from time to time.
Yeah, but on her first day home?
Well, let's just think of it as a royal homecoming. Shall we?
We both appreciate you coming here to tell us this.
What could Grant be thinking of?
I have no idea.
Well, do you want me to talk to him?
Yes, that's actually what I was thinking when I came over here. As you know, Amanda's been resisting treatment from the beginning. And Grant, as well-intentioned as he may be, but the last thing Amanda needs is a cheerleader on her side to try to fight the rest of us. So please, yes, do talk to her. See if you can get through to her.
I will, and thank you so much for telling us about this, John, and for everything else.
I shall be forever indebted to you, Doctor. Well, that does it, doesn't it? It would appear our time together has been cut short.
What do you think? Isn't that...
Ah, Grant.
Yeah, definitely.
They're here.
Explicit. Would you get that, Dan?
Well, of course.
Make sure we think that one, too.
Grant, I'm really sorry about the press being here.
Oh, relax, Lorna. I knew that you were working on this, but when the hospital all of a sudden decided to release Amanda today, I got so excited it never occurred to me I should call and cancel. Brady's going to need several of these letters. Make sure that he gets these.
Okay.
And,
This afternoon, is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Grant.
Yeah.
Where were you?
Oh, it's right here, darling.
There are photographers all over the front lawn. Did you tell them that I was coming home today?
No, of course not.
Lorna, did you tell them?
No, Amanda, I didn't. And I'm sorry about them being here. I'll handle this.
Well, you look wonderful, Amanda. You really do.
Thank you, Spencer. I certainly don't feel it. What happened to you? I thought you were going to ride home with me today.
Well, darling, I planned to, but all of this happened so suddenly I wanted to get home and make sure your room was all set.
My room?
Oh, you're going to love it, darling. The attendant will take you up in the elevator and see that you're all settled.
Oh, no, wait. What about you?
Well, the press, Amanda. Lorna and I have to deal with the press.
Lorna. The less I see of that woman, the better.
Stop taking my name in vain, Spencer, or we're going to have some real trouble on our hands.
Dad, give us a minute alone, would you please?
Evidently, your father doesn't think too much of me, Senator.
My father doesn't know you the way I do.
Yeah, well, he thinks he does. He's convinced that I'm here to make trouble for you and Amanda.
You're here because I need you. Probably more than I've needed anyone else in my life.
A little political hyperbole.
No, truth. For the next few months, you're going to prove invaluable to me.
Well, then I won't bite Spencer's head off. At least not today. Elsie, hi. Hi, nice to see you.
Yeah, Judy said you had some stuff for the community center.
Oh, yeah, sure do. Right over here. Yeah. Oh, no, not that one.
You got attached?
Yeah, yeah, you can say that.
Well, thanks. The kids will love these.
Well, sure, you're very welcome. Give Judy a hug for me, okay? Thanks. Bye.
Nearly collected on my life insurance. I mean, I thought for sure I was going to have a heart attack when you went for that door.
Well, Jake, you sure know how to test our marriage, don't you?
I'll never do it again, I swear. So, who's the little guy?
Saving him for later. You know, when payday makes three.
Have a hug now.
Only if it's very tightly.
All settled in?
Yes. Grant, could you please get that thing out of here?
You don't want it here, consider it gone. How do you like your room? You comfortable?
Yes, it's very nice, thank you.
Tried to think of everything.
Look, sweetheart, I know things have changed, but we have a bedroom that we were planning to share.
All in good time, darling, all in good time. I think this room is more appropriate for your needs now. Now, how about some lunch?
Sure, whatever. Tell me something, is Lorna full-time?
Yes. Yes, she is. Didn't I tell you that at the hospital?
No, you said on our wedding day that she was helping you out, but I didn't know that it was permanent.
Lucky for us it is, now that Evan Frame's done with her.
Evan? What do you mean?
Well, once he used her up, he fired her. Typical Evan Frame behavior, isn't it?
Do you have to go so soon?
Oh, I'll always be within shouting distance, darling. You don't have to worry about that.
I don't believe it.
What is it?
She's been discharged. She's probably all the way back at Grant's by now.
No, that's not possible.
That's just what they said.
Do you want to go and see her?
No, I don't want to go see her. I don't want to interfere.
Rachel, the child needs you. You have to go.
I know.
Rachel, kiss me. Every day with you has meant the world to me.
To me, too. Come with me.
No, I'll stay.
Grandpa, are you sad again?
Yes. Yes, I'm afraid I am, little one.
How come?
Oh, I told you myself. You know, sometimes we grown-ups, we're not very good.
But you are. Everybody loves you. I know I sure do.
Tomorrow, on Another World, Carl is tortured by guilt and desperate to confess to Rachel that he caused the accident that paralyzed her daughter. If he tells her the truth, it could cost him his marriage. Don't miss Another World tomorrow, only on NBC Daytime.
For the most complete news coverage in the Mid-South, watch The Scenes at 5 and 6. Join Demetria Kaladimos, Andy Pearson, and Jeff McAtee for the day's news, and Bill Hall for your total weather forecast. Turn to the channel for news, coming up at 5 and 6.